All right, so now let's continue with steps 81. So again, as a reminder, this is what we are building. So this is what we expect our final page to look like. But currently, this is what we have. Sorry. So this is what we are building, but currently this is what we have right now. Okay, so let's continue. So on to the next building, next two div elements within FB2. So we are going to add two div elements here like so. And then what we are going to do is give them each a class. So the first one is going to have a class of FB2A, and then I'll duplicate it and then give the second one a class of FB2B. Then we want to give FB2A a width with a value of 100%. Then we're also going to give it a height of 75%. I'll copy this, paste it here like so, and then I'll change this from FB2A to FB2B. The width will still be 100%, and then the height is also going to be 75%. Give FB2A a width of 100% and FB2B a width of 100% and a height of 75%. Okay. Next up, we want to nest three div elements. So we have our div element within FB2B, and then give them each a class of FB2-windows. So we have our class here, and then we have FB2-windows. So we need two more. So I'll just hold Option and Shift, and then I'll press down to create two more like so. Now these are going to be windows for this section of the building. Okay, so okay, so the spelling of windows was wrong. Let me correct it. All right. Okay, again, it was supposed to be Windows singular and not Windows plural. Okay, now it works. Now we want to add your window wrap class to FB2B to position the new window element. So if you remember, we created a window wrap class here, and then we gave it some style. So that's what we are going to add to FB2B. So here is FB2B. So we'll say space, and then we add window dash wrap like so. Okay. All right. So next up, let's continue. Give the FB2 window element a width of 22% and then a height of 100%. So FB2-window, we give it a width of 22% and we give it a height of 100% like so. And then we also want to give it a background color. So background color, the value is going to be window color 3, which is a variable. So we have to use var and then parentheses. And then inside the parentheses, we write the name of the variable. So in this case, the name of the variable is going to be window color 3. Okay, so because I've given it height and width, you can see the 3 windows that we added here. Okay. Moving on, let's move the background color property and its value from FB2 to just color the session and not the container. So yeah, so let's move this one here. I'll cut it out and then let's add it to this right here. Let's also add it to this right here. All right. The next thing we want to do now is for our class FB2A, we want to add a border button with the value of, so let's first write the property name, which is border button. And then I'm just going to copy this value here. So it's 10 view height, solid for the style. And then the color is going to be building color 3, which is a variable that we have created in our root. And then for border left, and then border right as well. Let's do 1 view width, solid, and then transparent. Okay, so as you can see, we have it here, the transparency. That's why you can see the building which is behind it. So I'm just going to hold Option and Shift, and then I'll press down to duplicate it and change border left to border right. Okay, now we have another border here on the right, which is also transparent, so you can see the building behind it. All right, so we are making progress. Now let's continue with 88. So in 88, for the next building, we want to nest 4 div elements. So inside FB3, I'm going to add 4 more div elements like so. And then I'm going to give them each a class. The first one is going to have a class of FB3A, and the second one will be FB3B. Then we will have FB3A again, and then FB3B again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold Option and Shift, press down to duplicate FB3A. I'll repeat it again. Then I'll change this one from FB3A to B. Change this one also from FB3A to B as well. So the building will have 2 sections, and the top 2 will be almost the same as the bottom 2. So let's continue and see how that will work. So now I want to give .fb3a element a width. So we say .fb3a. Let's give it a width of 80%. Let's also give it a height of 15%. And then for FB3B, .fb3b, we want to give it a width of 100% and then a height of 35%, like so. All right, so now we have our FB3A and then B. So this, let me zoom so that you see. So this right here is FB3A, this is also FB3A, and these two are FB3B respectively. Now we are at 90. So for 90, we want to remove the background color property. So we'll remove this from here and add them to FB3A and B. So I'll add one here. let me also add one here. All right. Now, as you can see, we have our code working. So let's move on to the next one. So as a reminder, this is what we are working on. So this is what we are trying to create. But now we have it as colored buildings. As we progress, we work on making it become like this. So the next thing we want to do is to add your building wrap class to the FB3 element. So we have our FB3 element here. We'll say building dash wrap. Okay, so the building wrap class is something we created here in our styles. So let me show you. As a reminder, there's the building wrap class. Okay, so it's a display flex and it aligns the items to the center, and also the flex direction is column. So as you can see from here, the flex direction is column, so it's from top to bottom, and then the items are also aligned in the center. Okay, so next up, let us nest 3 more div elements. So we say div inside the FB3 A element, which we have here. So we are nesting 3 more elements. I want to give each one of them a class of FB3-window. So let me write class first. Okay, now I'll just use the shortcut Option Shift and I'll press down to replicate it for us to get the 3 divs that we need. Now the next thing we want to do for 93 is to give the FB3 Windows element a width. So first let's select it by saying FB3-window. Let's bring our curly braces. Want to give it a width of 25%. Let's give it a height of 80%. And then we also want to use the variable window color 1 as the background color. So I'll say background color. Let's say var, because it's a variable. We bring our parentheses, and then inside our parentheses we write the name of the variable, which is background color, sorry, window color 1, not background color, window color 1, like so. Yeah, so as you can see, when I zoom in, you can see that the window color 1, which is black, has been used here. Okay, so let's continue with 94. In 94, the thing that we want to do is we want to add the window wrap class, which we have here. We want to add it to FB3A. So this is FB3A. So we've already created our window wrap class. Okay, again, as a reminder, this is it. So this just aligns the items to the center and then justifies. For justify content, we make the spaces between the elements even. So we'll say space window dash wrap. Okay, so as you can see, we have 3 items here and they are evenly spaced. Yeah. Next up is 95. So we want to create, with CSS variables, you can change values without searching everywhere in the style sheet. Okay, so now currently the value for window color 1 is black. Okay, so what makes CSS variables very useful is that if, for example, we wanted to change wherever we've used window color 1, which is black, to, let's say, red, we don't need to go into the code looking for all the places that we've used window color 1. For example, here, we don't need to come and write black here. Also come here, write black. All that we need to do is just come here and change the color here. So if I should just say red, you can see everything that has window color 1 also changes to red. So that is why CSS variables are really useful and powerful. So now I want to change window color 1 from this value, current value of black, to this value here. So I'm just going to clean the black away and then paste this value here. So now, as you can see, we have a lighter shade of the purple color. Okay, so let's continue. The next thing we want to do is, we have only 3 more buildings to go. So we are going to nest 2 new div elements within the FB4. So we say div elements within the FB4 element and give them the classes of FB4A. So we say class FB4A, and then we also have another one FB4A and FB4B. So let's duplicate it and make this one FB4B. Remember that you sort of flip the location of FB4 and FB5, so it's the rightmost purple building you are working on now. Okay, so this is what we are talking about, this building here. So give FB4B a width of 100% and height of 99%. So let's say FB4B, let's give it a width of 100%. Let's also give it a height of 89%, like so. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is to add building color 1 variable as value for the background color of the property of FB as background color of FB4B. So this FB4B. So we'll come here, let's say background color. And what we want to do is want to add a variable. Add your building color 1 variable as value of the background color property of FB4B. Then remove the background color from FB4B. Okay, so we don't need this. What we need to do is remove this one from here. Let's cut it out. And then we add it to FB4B like so. Okay. Next up, we want to nest 6 div elements within FB4B and give them all a class of FB4B windows. Okay, so let's nest some div elements. So we want to use that to create windows on this building. Okay, this purple building we have here. So we'll say class. The value of the class is going to be FB4-window. And then I'm going to use the shortcut Option Shift or Alt Shift 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want 6 of them. So we create 6. And then finally in this video, for 100, we want to give the .fb4 window element a width. So let's say FB4-window let's give it a width of 30%. Let's also give it a height of 50%. No, a height of 10%, sorry. So as you can see, we have them here. So all 6 of them have a width of 30% of the building and then a height of 10% of the building. Now let's just add a border radius of 50%. That will make it circular, not border radius rather. Okay, so as you can see, we have this circular windows instead of the square one that we had earlier. Yeah, so that's it for 100. We've really come a very long way here, and then the next video is going to be the last one for this playlist. So we're going to end this one here. See you in the next one.